Hello and welcome to the Experiencing Love podcast. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. A couple days ago, I remember coming on here talking about something that was happening in my life, something that was causing me a little bit of frustration. And I remember saying something along the lines of, something getting put on my plate that I didn't ask for. I remember when that happened, I had this moment of being able to step back and asking myself my primary question, how can I experience even more of God's love right now? And I remember in that moment being able to pause, take a deep breath, gather myself, and realize that everything is happening for a reason, and I will figure out what that reason is later on. And that calmed me down. It put me in a great state of mind, and I enjoyed the rest of my night because I wasn't going to let outside circumstances dictate how I felt. Well, I just found the flip side of that scenario in the sense of maybe why that scenario was brought into my life in the first place. And while I can't talk much in terms of detail, unfortunately, I can say that there is a reward coming that I was not expecting. And it's a reward on many fronts, partially financial, partially emotional, partially in the form of pride, of overcoming challenges and finding a solution when no one else wanted to. That's a big part. Finding a solution when no one else was stepping up to do so. I love this line that I heard really often at Business Mastery. Business Mastery is a business seminar that Tony Robbins puts on. And the trainers and the senior leaders and the crew would consistently say the line, leaders go first. Leaders go first. When no one else wants to step up, a leader steps up. And many people want to be leaders. Many people like the pride of being a leader. But how many people do you know step up when no one else wants to step up? How many people will put themselves in that position, will put themselves in scenarios where they are the only ones that can get something done, whether it's because no one else wants to or because no one else can? I'm not claiming to be a leader all the time. Every single person out there has different tendencies of leadership. And that being said, I also acknowledge that I truly try my hardest to step up when no one else wants to. I don't always do it gracefully, that's for sure. Especially when something gets dropped on my lap and I'm being told that no one else wanted to take care of it. There are some moans and groans coming out. I got to admit that. But those moans and groans come from this ego state of mind. It comes from the part of me that doesn't like change. When something gets put on my lap, it means change. I have to change my schedule. I have to change my plans. I have to change my mindset. I have to change a couple different things, and it's enough to get in my head and make me feel not excited for the change. And I have to remind myself to get back into that peak state of mind, that leadership state of mind. Because when I get back into that state of mind, I find that I get excited for those moments. There are special rewards for the people with the habit of stepping up. And I don't just mean like tangible rewards. I mean universal rewards. The universe rewards those who step up for themselves, who step up for other people, who step up for their mission, for their purpose, for their values. And I only know that through experience. As soon as I made the decision in my life that it's time for me to step up, do what you have to do, I started getting rewards proportional to how much I stepped up. Sometimes stepping up is easy. Sometimes stepping up means you get to do what you actually want to do. It's an easy choice to say, oh yeah, I got this. I'll take care of this. But it's different when you decide to step up for something that you really don't want to do, but you know that you need to. Sometimes I feel called to step up. I feel a calling that, oh, I really don't want to do this. And it's like a nudge in the back of my mind going, yeah, but you have to. You know you have to, right? And oftentimes I don't know why I have to, but I do it anyways. And then some form of reward comes along. Whether it's pride, whether it's support, whether it's financial reward. It's come in all shapes and sizes. And at the end of the day, the common denominator was choosing to step up. I think being a leader doesn't even have to mean leading other people, but it means leading your life on your terms. That's what it means to be a leader. What happens when you lead life on your terms, people are drawn to you. They're drawn to what you do. They want to see more of what you do. They want to think like you. So a true leader doesn't lead to be followed. A true leader leads to lead and then gets followed. Leadership is a powerful thing. It's talked about everywhere. It's talked about in schools, in workplaces. It's talked about in families. It's talked about in churches. Leadership is an important topic, and it's a topic that I used to sneer at. I used to laugh at it because I would say something along the lines of, yeah, I've heard this all before. But when it really started happening for me, and I started to not just understand it, but I started to live it, I now understand why people talk about it so much. I understand why leadership is so important. I see that in my life, I'm meant to lead in certain areas. I think we're all meant to lead in certain areas. I'm not meant to lead everywhere, but there are things that I know and experiences that I've had that when come together, I'm the only one with those things. And I'm meant to guide people through it, through my journey, in order to help them on theirs. I know that that's one area I'm meant to lead. I know that I'm meant to provide some form of guidance and help to those who really need it and want it. And I know I'm not going to get there if I don't step up. Stepping up is a discipline. It's a skill. It's a muscle that needs to be built, grown, maintained, strengthened, whatever analogy you want to use. I pray every day to continue being guided on my journey. At this stage in my journey, I'm being called to lead some people. At this point in my journey, I'm being called to do things that I may not want to do in the moment. At this point in my journey, I'm being called to step up. And I wonder if you who's listening to this have ever been called to step up. It's a trick question because I know you have. I guess the real question is, what did you do when you were called to step up? Did you step up or did you shrink back? Did you shine bright or did you hide away? What's an area in your life now that you're being called to step up in? What are you being called to do? Is it something that you want to do or you don't want to do? What could be the gift on the other end of the decision to step up? What could be your reward? There always is one. Sometimes you just have to look to find it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, one filled with leadership and power and stepping up. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.